All right, so we want to add in a little bit of toe curl where we can actually curl our toe downwards. If I show my character, curl the toe downwards or curl the toe upwards. And we could do that by using this reverse foot rig. It's a little tricky and there's some issues that we run into, but I'm going to show you how to fix those up. So first thing that we need to do is create a single chain IK handle from our original ball joint to our original toe joint. So I'm going to go over here, and I like to do this with the outliner because I could accidentally select this reverse foot joint in the viewport. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go up here to our rigging toolkit, skeleton, create IK handle option box, just to make sure that the current solver is set to single chain. Then I can minimize the tool settings window. I'm going to hold control, select L ball, L toe end, and there we go. We get this IK handle. And you can see as I move it up and down, I leave it alone, don't move it up and down. I'm just kind of demonstrating. I'm going to undo these changes. But as I do, we can see we actually get some rotation on that original toe joint. So I'm going to undo those movements that I was doing so it's back to its normal state. Let's also rename this. This is L underscore toe bend underscore IK handle. What I want to do now is set up controls to actually control that bend. And it gets a little tricky because we're telling Maya to control this toe from so many different sources. We have to do it in a particular way, I guess I should say. I'm going to do create locator. What this is a null object. It has no vertices. It's kind of like our NURBS curves. It won't be rendered, but it's just an extra little locator that we can know a specific point in space. I'm going to rename this. Get rid of that one at the end. L underscore toe bend underscore locator. I'm going to copy that name and just group it to itself as it's at the world origin. That way they're both have the same pivot point. Paste its name and say underscore GRP. Offset groups. They're great. And what we want to do now is snap this to our original ball joint. So I'm going to select that locator group, hold V and snap it. Oh, let me hide the geometry there so it doesn't actually snap to that. There we go. Hide it to that, or snap it to that original ball joint, not our reverse foot. Notice mine are kind of slightly offset, but there you can see it is snapped to that original ball joint. The reason we do the offset group is now take a look at those translates. That's wonderful. That's awesome. But when we go to our locator, it doesn't have any of that information, and that's what we want. We don't want any of that translation or rotation on that group to be in our locator here. Cool. So with that in position, we're going to parent this group, this toe bend locator group, to our toe end for the left toe, right? So this is the left toe bend locator group. So I'm going to select that group, then select the toe end. This is our original joint, not the reverse foot, right? And then say parent. And the reason we do that is whenever I go back to my control rig here and say foot roll, see how that locator moves with it, with that original foot roll that we have. Fantastic. So now it's just a matter of constraining the IK handle to the rotation of this locator. This is where Maya's going to run into some issues because we've parented it to the toe, but that toe is also being driven by the thing that we're wanting to control. So once we start telling Maya, hey, I know we're parented already and we're moving together already, but I want to control you even further, Maya's going to freak out. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to select this locator, then the IK handle, which I did rename. Okay, cool. So the locator, IK handle, constrain parent. And I'm going to reset my settings just because I was already doing the fix for it, and click apply. Now, this is really funny because a minute ago it broke for me, but that's Maya for you. When we start telling Maya to have these complex relationships between parenting and actually constraining within the parenting that we've done, it can freak out. So this looks like it works for me right now. I can rotate that locator and I have what I need. However, in your project, it may break the rig entirely. You know, this toe maybe go flying off somewhere. So if you run into that, just make sure to check on decompose near object. And what this does is it tells Maya, hey, I know we're doing this complex parenting inside of stuff in addition to constraining, but do your best in trying to decompose those connections and reconnect them in a specific manner the best that you can, Maya. And click apply. And you get the same result I just had, but I know that issue can arise, so I do want to point out how to fix it. I can click close at this point, because that is the only parent constraint that we need to make there. So now it's just a matter of connecting it up with our foot control. I already have it here, but actually I think I'll just delete this toe curl. Where is the delete selected? That is not what I wanted to do. That is, I need to say, whoops. Forgive me here. I need to edit, delete attributes. There we go. It'll delete the attribute that you have selected. So now I want to say edit, add attribute. I'm just doing this to show it. I could have used what I had there. L_toe_ bend or curl. I've been calling it bend, so let's just state bend. I'm not going to give this a minimum or maximum though. I'm going to leave this as a float and just say okay. So now it's just connecting the rotation of this, and we want very specifically rotate X because that's all we want for our toe is to bend up and down. We don't want to do this way. We're good with that. We really don't bend our toes that way anyway. So let's go here. And I'm going to go up to Windows, General Editors, Connection Editor. Scroll down to left toe bend. Then we want to load in that locator. Reload right. Find rotate here. Notice that it is grayed out. Hit the plus icon. There we get our individuals. Remember that we want this to be rotate X. Double check on yours that it is rotate X. Now when I go back to the foot control, it's set to 0, but I can bend it up or down. All of this stuff will be hidden once we get closer to finishing the rig and we go back and clean it up. But for now, that is a nice toe bend that works with our foot moving around. Then we could use the toe bend there to get a little drag on that. And we can reset this back to 0. Same thing for our other controls up here. Except for scale. Don't set scale to 0. Set that to 1. Or just don't mess with it at all. Then we got the foot roll, and it works with that. Let's just double check. So we're up on here. And if I wanted some toe bend for whatever reason, I could get it. Cool. So this is great. This is a really nice feature for a rig to have, and that's it. So doing the same thing for the other foot with the reverse foot rig, and then also we can add some swivel in, which we'll talk about here next. Cool. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions.